Why is Femi Fani-Kayode, Bayo Onanuga, and Festus Keyamo making comments that can tear the country apart, that can tear Nigeria apart? Am I the only one wondering why Femi Fani-Kayode, Festus Keyamo, and Bayo Onanuga have been making divisive comments of late? Like comments, their comments risks tribalism, religion bigotry. I know politics can be a very dirty game, and politicians tend to make some divisive comments sometimes, probably just to appeal to their fans or their supporters, or to distract the people from an important issue at hand. Bayo Onanuga was saying, let 2023 be the last time the Igbo people will ever interfere in the politics of Lagos. That Lagos is not like Anambra. That's tribalism to me. I mean, people of their status and caliber, with their level of literacy, I was talking about tribalism in this 21st century. Not when they are even in a position to preach national love. They are now the one making comments that can divide the country furthermore. Like, does Festus Keyamo get a son title? And then he always go online shouting. For you to be a son in Nigeria, I think that's the highest level of law profession in Nigeria. We have the likes of Femi Falana. They don't go about constituting nuisance or shouting up and down like Festus Keyamo does all the time. He will always react to every comment by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, how does a son do that? You're supposed to be decorum, be sane, not going about shouting, making comments that seem to divide the country, saying people who are not satisfied with Bola Ahmed being the president-elect, they should pack their bag and go to another planet. Like, seriously, who will you people govern? Same thing Femi Fani-Kayode too, calling Igbos the aliens, saying Lagos people will no longer welcome Igbo people that live in Lagos are no longer welcome by the people of Lagos. When in actual fact you're married to an Igbo woman who gave you 4 handsome boys. I think Tinubu should speak to his spokesmen. They're not representing him well at all. Rather than helping him promote peace and unity, because as it is right now, the country is so tensed and everybody is so sensitive, they shouldn't make comments that would divide or tear Nigeria apart. Tinubu should caution them. These divisive comments started ever since Peter Obi filed for petition challenging Tinubu's victory in court. I mean, you guys are the one who asked him to go to court to go and seek redress. You said if he's not satisfied with the election result, he should go to court. He should meet you guys in court. And even Festus Keyamo, I remember in his word, he said they are ready for Peter Obi, that Peter Obi will be busted by the law lords of APC. So why is he not afraid? Why is he not G3? Or is it because you guys feel he can actually win his mandate back? Or are they afraid that truly the election was actually rigged, and that if Peter Obi should go to court, he will reclaim back his mandate? So why are they angry? Why are they afraid? You ask them to go to court and they are doing that now, and then you are afraid you are G3, asking DSS to come and arrest that Baba Ahmed and Peter Obi over treasonable felony. He's even making mockery of the DSS. So DSS is now Guguru and Ekpa. It's now looking like, you know, a child that will always go and report to his mommy anytime they do something to him. Mommy, they touched my head. Mommy is beating me. Oh, mommy collected my sweet. That's what Festus Keyamo is doing to the treasonable felony, because they said Tinubu should not be sworn in as a president because it does not meet the requirement of 25% vote in 2/3 of Nigeria, including FCT. When that is the actual fact, why is APC spokesman trying to tear the country apart? Because that's what they are trying to do. Just imagine, hear him, just listen to what he's saying.
I have appealed to you enough. For the sake of our country, let us come together. And I think that is the line that Peter Obi and Dati Ahmed, they have crossed. There is a constitutional process to address grievances. A process has taken place. An election has happened in accordance with the law. Results have been declared by the body constitutionally imbued with the right to declare that result, which is INEC, not any other body, INEC. INEC has declared a president-elect. The Constitution also envisages that certain persons will be dissatisfied with that declaration. So we are not in a position or situation of constitutional crisis like Dati Ahmed tried to paint. This situation was or has been envisaged by the Constitution that certain persons will be dissatisfied. And if you are dissatisfied, there are laid down procedures to address those grievances so that democracy will function, those institutions will function, and democracy will function and will survive. Now, what is going on is that Dati Ahmed comes here, and it has been a series of interviews by himself and Peter Obi. Yesterday was the final nail on the coffin. It was the final straw that broke the camel's back. That somebody who wanted to become vice president of this country, of that level, would come here, sit before the world, and tell the world that he does not recognize a president-elect that has been declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission, and that the president-elect must not be sworn in, and that he does not even recognize, the process that they have, started, in court. He does not trust that process, I mean. And that's a person who wanted to become vice president of this country. How? And then he arrogates to himself the right or the power to interpret the Constitution, interpret, Section 134 of the Constitution to suit his own whims and caprices, and then declares that what the INEC did was totally unconstitutional, and that what will come in on May 29 will be an unconstitutional government. It is the delusion of grandeur. It's complete delusion of grandeur for anybody to say now that there is no president-elect, which is it's complete delusion of grandeur.
So that is the specifics of your anger.
Exactly. Just to tell you that amounts to subverting the very process that they have started in the tribunal. They are subverting that process by coming out of that process to then call for insurrection in a subliminal manner, for protest and insurrection to truncate that process. I want to say this clearly, that the process we have established since 1999 is that elections take place. People are sworn into office, but those who have grievances are given the right to continue their grievances, air their grievances in court. And some months into their tenures, if the judgments come in, they are removed from office. So there is nothing so serious that he came to raise here yesterday about swearing in somebody who has been given a certificate of return. Himself, Babat Dati Ahmed, himself, was removed from office twice. He stole people's mandates. And I'm not saying anything gross. It is judicial pronouncement that you stole a mandate. He was sworn in as a senator, was he not?
He accused your party of stealing.
But hold on. But he was sworn in.
And I'm asking.
Let me finish. Let me finish this segment. He was sworn in as a senator. But the person who was challenging his victory continued his case in court. Another CPC under the same Buhari that is abusing now. He rode under his wings, purportedly won a Senate seat in Kaduna, was sworn into office. Nobody said he shouldn't be sworn in at that time. But he was carrying a stolen mandate. And at the end of the day, there was judicial, pronouncement, and Baba that time was removed from office. Why is he opposed to that same procedure that he benefited from? In our own case, it is not an admission that our election was flawed, was totally flawed to the extent that it substantially affected, the result of the election. No, I'm not admitting that. I'm not saying that this is a procedure we have since established in 1999. So why?
So you think that the election was flawed?
Oh, what?
You think that the election was flawed?
No. I'm saying that it was not flawed to the extent.
But it was flawed.
No, in some areas there were infractions in areas. In the southeast.
But the allegations are that
in the southeast.
In
the southeast there were flaws.
In the southwest there were some flaws. That the victory of your party is illegitimate because they believe that there were a lot of voter suppression and in fact it's a stolen mandate. Those are the words of the opposition.
Who has the right? Who has the right to make that determination? You were asking him yesterday. Institutions must function. How can someone who is a participant in the process now arrogates on himself the right to be the judge and the jury and the accuser, and you are a participant in the process? In fact, yesterday I heard one of the strangest sentences I've heard as a lawyer. You know that sentence he came here to say, and I'm not surprised because he's not a lawyer, but he runs an institution. He said, this section of the Constitution comes interpreted. You heard that yesterday. That no, you don't need to bother. This section comes interpreted. I have never heard that in my life. What I have heard from my life as a law student is that the right to interpret provisions of the Constitution lies in the judiciary, and that's why you have a tripod.
And I'd like to, and I'd like you to get your own interpretation. But just before we get further into that controversial section 134, because on this program I've had to speak with a former NBA president, Olisa Agbakoba, who 2 or 3 months ago raised this matter and said it's going to be a problem and it's likely to cause a lot of chaos in our election, because according to him, it's not clearly stated whether or not FCT as the constitution captured it. But let me ask you, what he said, part of what he said and part of what the opposition has said is that when you tell people to go to court, it then means something, that you steal something from them and you are asking them to go through a process in which you are predetermined or you have your way around that process. So just hang on. That is one of the interpretations of go to court coming from your camp. Just hang on a minute. If I don't say go to court, what will I say? If I don't say go to court, the next thing I will say is that, come, let's fight. So why are they using such phrases or such sentences in a derogatory manner? It is what is provided for by law. And people have actually retrieved their mandates by going to court. It is only when it does not favor you, and that is what the Labour Party is doing, and that is why I had to petition them to the DSS. There's a build-up to something that they are doing. There's a build-up. The build-up they are doing is to rile the people up, pump them up, and then turn them against the judiciary, that if your judgment does not go in a particular way, and that is why he has come here yesterday. He came here yesterday to say the constitution comes interpreted. What does that mean? He's telling the judiciary that this thing, I have interpreted it. The people of Nigeria have interpreted it, and if you say anything different, they will come after you. So what? No, I need to make this point. I need to make this point. That is where they are going, and so they are setting up a scene for rebellion, and they are setting up a scene to blackmail the judiciary. And that is why if you go online now, I have alerted the DSS that they have camped some boys in one popular hotel in Abuja. And I will give that information to the DSS, where they have told them every morning to be pumping out online messages to rile up the citizens, cause fear, and all of that. And so what they want to do is to say once the judiciary now goes another way, then the judiciary must have sold out. So that's why they are threatening the judges. And they have gone up to that point. I want to make this point. Nigerians must know that the Labour Party online touts now are threatening judges, threatening their families, exposing them. Go online and see what is happening.
So why is Festus Keyamo lying? I mean, people have always been saying Festus Keyamo lies a lot, but this one is funny again.
And so there is a situation where they want to create fear in this country. They try, you know that during the elections, they tried to threaten people to support them. They failed. During the announcement, they tried to threaten INEC. So everything about them is threats. To threaten INEC to support them, they failed. Now they want to move to the judiciary. It is enough is enough. We are ready. Let me tell you this. People who voted, the majority are that, who voted for Asiwaju and the APC, they are the silent majority now. They are cunning lying machines. Mr.
Keyamo, they have said, the Labour Party said, they know that they won this election and with a better margin, and that they have their evidence and they are going to court to prove it.
We are very happy with that. We are happy. It's because I'm in cabinet now that you will not see me appear on the first day in court. But after May 29, on May 30th, you will see me. I'm working with the team. You will see me in court. The law is against my putting on my wig now as I'm cabinet, but I'm working with the team. So on May 30th, you are going to see me in my wig and gown in court. So I know the facts we have. I'm not going to reveal everything.
And I'm very sure that
I know the facts we have.
You have seen the petitions. You have been seeing reactions.
Of course.
And not only the election matter. That in fact, there are matters that have been raised bordering on the capacity and the qualification of your candidate to even run for office in the first place.
I don't want to impugn the judiciary here. Even if I would have used the word laughable. But it is important for me as a senior lawyer not to ridicule the judiciary. But at the end of the day, like I said, I tweeted a few days ago, I said, I'm excited about this petition. Why am I excited? Because those issues we shouted and tried to explain to Nigerians during the elections, that these things were useless allegations, you will hear from the judiciary, you will hear from their law lords loud and clear now when they give their judgment. And call me back. Keep this tape. Call me back after the judgment has been given. We all know law. We all know the law. Even the opposite side, they know too. Some of them have called me and say, Festus, now we just do our work. They told me.
Are you predetermining what will come out of the
I'm not
courts?
talking. That's why I said I will not impose on them. But call me back after the judgment and say those simple issues we have tried to explain Nigerians, they will be exposed. And I'm excited these things have been brought to their petition so that we can have final judicial determination of those issues.
All right.
You will see them.
Let me take you to section 134, and I'd like to get your own reaction. So if you can put it on the screen. And this is what section 134, subsection 2. And clearly what it states about how an election of 2 or more people in an election for the presidential race will be determined. A candidate for an election to the office of president shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there being more than 2 candidates for the election. Hey, the first instance is that he has the highest number of votes cast at the election, and the B part says he has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election in each of at least 2/3 of all the states in the federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That is where the controversy came. What is your own interpretation?
You know, Sean, you want me to expose our briefs here now, but I'll give you a small expo. First question to you. The Constitution says everybody in Nigeria is equal for the law. There's equal rights before the law in Nigeria. That you cannot dispute. It's a standard, clear, settled provision of the Constitution. Equality before the law. Secondly, if you say there's equality before the law, and you now say certain voters existing somewhere should now hold what they call the golden card to override all other states in the federation, does that meet the spirit of the Constitution to make everybody equal before the law? You are now making people residents in Abuja higher citizens over and above other citizens of Nigeria. That is what their own warped interpretation is taking us to. That there's a special set of voters in Nigeria. Unless you woo them to that point of 25, you cannot be president of Nigeria. Even if you get up to 36 states, and you clear all, but Abuja will deprive you from becoming president of Nigeria. Is that kind of interpretation, does it accord with the spirit of the Constitution? That is one. I'm not going deeply into the arguments. I'm only giving you peripheral arguments. Secondly, I'm going to tell you. Again, I'm going to come back. Yeah. Read section 134. In conjunction, like I said, Constitution must be read as a community, document. Read it in conjunction with 299. All right. Let's put up 299. Put 299. Put up 299, which they have been hiding from Nigerians. Read them.
So that's what 299. The provision of this constitution shall apply to the federal capital, Abuja, as it were one of the states of the federation.
That's all.
And accordingly, as if it were.
That's
so
all.
It means that. That's all. Does it mean that the constitution sees FCT as the 37th state?
Exactly. All you just need to do when you read these two is that section 134, for the purpose of this, for the purpose of that section, it is an inclusive provision. A provision that tries to include Abuja amongst one of the states. In fact, to understand 134 better, just remove the sentence "and the FCT Abuja." People would have been asking, if you cut 25% in 2/3 of the states of the federation and you keep quiet, people would have been asking, 2/3 of the states and Abuja. I say, what about Abuja? What about Abuja? So what that last phrase means is just to confirm to people that you calculate Abuja along with it too. That's what it means. Simple. So, in practical terms, let me break it down for Nigerians to understand. In practical terms, it means that if I need to get 25% in 24 states, and I now get 25%, I get the 25% in 23 states. And the FCT, what it simply means is that FCT will be calculated as a state so that you have met the requirement. Am I clear? That's in practical terms. That is what it means. I'm trying to calculate, bring it in practical terms for people to understand. That if Asiwaju or Atiku had gotten 23 states, 25%, and they say, oh, you cannot be president. Or they say, no, but he got 25% in FCT too. They say, oh, yes, it's included. It should be treated as a state too. So what it means is not to elevate Abuja and to treat it separately as an elevated to a status higher than the state. In fact, their interpretation that they are bringing to section 134 It's an interpretation that even negates the spirit and letters of that particular section that even tries to include Abuja among the states to be calculated.
So that yesterday has said,
Yes.
It might be dangerous for your candidate and the president-elect to be sworn in if there is no clarification and settlement on this provision of the Section 134. What other pathway do we have to douse this tension?
There is no tension. The tension is in Baba Adatiame's mind. Tension where? He wants to come to Eagle Square or do what? What is he saying? What is Batiame saying? That what? That INEC should have gone what? Should have stopped announcement to go to court first?
If the lights if the lights of Mr. Agbakoba have raised this issue,
it's Agbakoba Supreme Court.
Your candidate did not.
You keep quoting my very respected fellow. Hold on.
But he has raised
respected fellow. But is it Supreme Court? Did you hear the views of other senior advocates too? He's my very good senior brother. But you keep going back to Oluga. What is Oluga?
It's one of those who have raised it.
But the other issue, the other lawyers who have said is nothing. What's them too now? Am I not a senior advocate? So what's the meaning of this?
But the question is that, as it is, your candidate...
So the INEC should have waited, should have stopped announcement to go to court.
Calm down, Mr. Keyamo. Your candidate did not make 25% in FCT.
Just like
the PDP candidate.
No. Just like Labour Party don't make 25%. In more than 17 states too. In fact, he didn't make 25% in 15 states. And now he wants to now rub shoulders with us that didn't make 25% in what? In FCT and 6 other states. We got 30, we got 30 states, you know that? The two of them, Obi and Atiku, did not even make the 24, and they are claiming they want to be president. Obi was the worst. He got 17, 25%, 17. And even look at the national spread of the votes. To even say who qualified to be president. Listen, by the manner of their campaigns, Obi made 9 states in the south and made 3 in the north central. He didn't even go to the core north. Atiku Abubakar got 9 states in the north and made 3 in the south. It was only Asiwaju that got 6 in the north and 6 in the south. That is the balance that Asiwaju brought to this, to this campaign. Again, it was only Asiwaju that got at least 1 state in each of the in 5 geopolitical zones. It was only in the southeast Asiwaju did not get 1 state, but Asiwaju won at least 1 state in all the 5 geopolitical zones. Right. Again, Asiwaju came first in 3 regions and came second in 3 other regions. He never came third anywhere. Obi came first in only 2 regions. Atiku came first in only 1 region. So who had the spread? Who had the acceptability of Nigeria?
Those
are the people that are waiting for them.
Your candidate perhaps from analysts say, look, that is the that's the lowest margin or percentage of vote any elected president has had since 1999.
Democracy at that point, it says that you don't have to have the highest vote in history. You also have the highest vote in that election. That is democracy.